This is going to be a video on how to make a focaccia bread in a cast iron skillet. No, you don't want to pull it. You want to fold it and push it. All right, go ahead. Oh, that's sticky. I think we need more coffee. There's only 4 ingredients that you need in order to make a good dough. It's our flour, yeast, salt, water. But the most important thing you want is a cast iron skillet. I know that a lot of recipes start with the dry ingredients first and then add water and the liquids after. But to me, that always creates more lumpy dough. So start with the water, start with the liquids, mix in the small ingredients first, and then add the flour at the end. Dough for bread tends to be pretty forgiving, so it's actually okay to be a little bit off. I'm more interested in the method of how I go about making the dough than I am about being precise on the ingredients. You're gonna get the second cup. Can I help you? We're gonna do... What? Oh, you do it all by yourself, okay. Even though I have a KitchenAid mixer, I prefer mixing the dough by hand or by spoon because I have a better sense of where the dough is in the mixing process. And I can feel it, I can kind of weigh it, I can see how sticky it is. And then...
also, you can dump it on your head.
And also I can dump it on my head or Asher's head. And then also my experience with a mixer, a small kitchen size mixer, is that the dough tends to ride up the hook and gets really cumbersome, really annoying to try to clean the hook every time and reset it.
You're not letting me mix.
All right, go ahead. Use 2 hands. So this, I don't know if I talked about this already. This is called a dough knife. It's perfect. It's absolutely made for dough, both for scraping things off and for cutting dough later. Also, we do have, did the camera move? Are you moving the camera? At a certain point, the dough gets dry enough that you can start actually massaging it or kneading it with your hands. And I do it all in the bowl. It helps prevent the mess from going everywhere. Can you wash your hands, buddy? So now I'm gonna knead it for about a few more minutes. And you wanna knead it with the heel of your hand. So always make sure you have some flour for handling the dough after the rise. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Just put the headset down. Keep it recording.
I think that you're wrong.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're going crazy. All right, let's talk about the flour for a second. We actually use Italian import Caputo 00 flour. It's great for pizza, fantastic for bread, and it gives us some great results. And it's also a lot easier on our bellies when we eat it. But if you don't have any imported flour, that's fine. Just go to the store, use anything that's all-purpose or pizza flour. All right, so now at this point, you can feel it kind of ripping. It's not very stretchy.
Paper. Kind of like paper.
It's not like paper. It's more like a dryish Play-Doh. Here, Annika, show it to the camera.
It's kind of like shine. It's very shiny paper.
Okay. All right, great. All right, close it. So now we're done with mixing the dough that are airtight, and we're just gonna let them rise. We have the oven preheated to 450 degrees. We have the skillet, the cast iron skillets, actually 2 of them in the oven right now. You wanna preheat the skillets for a good 1 hour. It's no exaggeration, that hour is actually gonna make a huge difference in the texture of the bread once it's finished. So preheat that cast iron for 1 hour. So what we do now, we're gonna cut the dough, shape it into 2 balls.
And first, I'm gonna fry.
And first it's gonna fly. All right. So now, Asher, that's not how we cut it. And like this. So they're gonna be roughly, wait, stop. So you're gonna be roughly 2 lumps of dough that are roughly the same size. So you hold the dough like this, and you kind of work it into itself to close off a seam. And once you have the seam closed off, you can just pinch it and it's fine, and you put the seam side down. You take the Tupperware you just used and you cover it up, or you can take a glass bowl, or really any bowl. I like to use plastic or glass so I can see how the dough is doing without having to lift it out. And put it on the counter, and you wait until the oven's preheated, so another hour, for this dough to do a second rise. All right, so I'm gonna flip it. Do a little bit of flour on that side. All right, so when I stretch this dough for a focaccia bread, I don't press hard with my fingers. Instead, go ahead. Okay. Instead, when I stretch it, I know, I carefully just pick it up with my hands. And when you pick it up with your hands, you just want to make sure you spread your fingers out. And that's actually all we need is this size. It'll be roughly the same size of the pan. Are we ready?
Yeah. Be careful with the hot iron skillet.
So all you're gonna do with the oil is brush it on. In fact, you can kind of hear that sizzle. When you oil the dough, you can use a brush, but you can also use a spoon or a fork, and you want to cover the entire surface of the dough. Sprinkle it generously with salt. You can also add herbs, spices, anything you like that is pleasing to your taste, but usually we just stick with salt.
Oh yeah, come here.
You want to bake the bread on the top rack for 12 to 15 minutes at 450 degrees until the crust is golden brown. The outside will look a little bit like pizza crust, but more oily. And when you cut into it, it's going to be chewy, lots of air bubbles, air pockets, and it's going to be nice and soft and warm on the inside. If there's too much oil, don't worry about it. It'll just soak into the bread. It's going to be soft, lots of air pockets on the inside. It's going to have all this gluten structure that's built up, makes the inside of the crumb super chewy while maintaining a nice crunch on the outside. When you bite into it, it should be crunchy on the outside and nice and chewy and soft on the inside. All right, thanks everybody for watching and tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully you'll catch the next video with us. Thanks.